Dear Honda, reality just called. Your divorce settlement has finally come through. Yes. Details next. I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au and I get new cars cheap. For buyers here in Australia. Website for that, obviously. Or you can simply click the card that's up there now, dude. Like, what do I have to do? Draw you a friggin' diagram? Wear pants? There are limits in this line of work. The Australian car industry, so damn competitive. No quarter is ever given, and that's what makes it so strong. Honda, of course, very concerned about Mazda's recent, dare I say, triumphant 2022 CX-5 bullshit press release. That was a work of art. Link up there, if I can remember in my old age. We can't let those bastards from fuck you, may not be how Mazda's headquarters is actually pronounced, but we cannot let those bar stewards steal bullshit press release January from us. We've worked hard for this, they said, laid the foundations. We deserve it. What can we do? I know. Honda's new car buying experience continues to build momentum, delivering joy to more customers. Well, I've had joy and, frankly, a $47,000 Civic is emphatically not an example of that. Last time I had actual joy was when Tiffany whispered to me, "What's wrong with right here on the counter?" I was unable to mount a counterfactual to that. It was friggin' awesome. Anyway, the facts. Honda Shitsville supplied this helpful graph of its alleged momentum acquisition. Like, look at it. That's friggin' awesome, dudes. Thank you so much for letting us know. Well, it is awesome until you look at the actual data. Honda's graph, accompanying its disgraceful spin, shows sales from July to December of 2021. July, of course, marked the date they put their dealer network to the sword and invoked their memorable shit price promise. I mean, agency model. And it does look like a recovery, doesn't it? I mean, superficially. Until, perhaps, the point when a horribly outspoken, bald bastard who actually did study applied mathematics endlessly at university chose to put some other but closely related sales data on the same page for, context. The red line here is Honda's bullshit press release graph, and I'm using Professor Frankfurt's Bullshit Bible for guidance on what actually constitutes bullshit. Link in the description. Get yourself a copy. And the blue line is the corresponding sales data for 2020. And 2020 was something of a cataclysm for Honda. We'll get to that. If you had to categorize this performance broadly, you would have to call 2021 a comparative disaster. Every month on that graph, June to December inclusive, Honda sold ballpark twice as many cars in 2020, the year before they invoked their shit price promise. Trying to paint this upward trend, which is roughly the same trajectory as the year before, as some kind of win is just indefensible bullshit. Same trajectory, but half as many Hondas actually getting sold. And the blue line itself is objectively a disaster. This is not what a win looks like. It's just not. But they did try to spin the actual shit out of it. November was actually the first full month of relatively normal trading conditions for our new national network of Honda centres, especially in the key metropolitan areas of Melbourne and Sydney, which resulted in more sales contracts signed and more cars delivered to customers, as well as an increased level of customer enquiries. Stephen Collins there speaking for Honda Shitsville, and he is one of my favourite automotive middle managers. Cursed with this seeming poison chalice, but he keeps his chin up, and that matters. I don't know how. #respect. But speaking of respect, right, as in respect for the facts, when he said, quote, which resulted in more sales contracts signed, I am kind of obliged to inquire, than when, dude? Like, more than when? Exactly. Because Honda's 2021 sales were a deep pile of doo-doo in comparison with 2020, which was well before the Honda shit price promise. And 2020 sales were an even bigger, even more steaming pile of even more exquisite excrement versus 2019, and ditto 29 poop-wise in comparison with 2018. In fact, that horrible, bald, outspoken mother lover took additional time to graph that as well. You can agree, there's a certain overall consistency in play here. Over several years. Honda Shitsville sold 51,000 cars in 2018. Not bad. That fell 17% in 2019 when they sold 43,868. And then, Jesus, there was quite the avalanche in 2020. 2020 only looks good in comparison to 2021, right? 34% reduction in 2020, down to about 29,000 sales. And then 17,562 last year of the shit price promise. That's almost 40% down year on year. Like, this is what a train wreck looks like. In fact, to Mr. Collins, I would respectfully say that Honda Australia has lost 2/3 of its sales in the space of just 4 years inclusive, 2018 to 2021. That's a disaster with no evidence of abatement, at least none that I can see from the data. What I frankly do not understand is the concept of bullshit press release as any kind of countermeasure to the facts. Like, when the liquid oxygen tank on Apollo 13 exploded during the translunar injection in April of 1970, NASA did not issue a press release heralding exciting new mission parameters and challenges. And when the friggin' safety test went irrevocably sideways in the number 4 nuclear reactor at Chernobyl in 1986, the Soviets did not issue a release detailing exciting new affordable housing initiatives for the regions around Pripyat. And when the O-ring infamously malfunctioned in a torpedo on board the Kursk in August of 2000, together with the secondary detonation of 5 to 7 additional warheads on board, like, Jesus. No press release announcing a triumphant new all-time depth record set by cutting-edge Russian submarine. Crew in good spirits despite unforeseen mission challenges. Sort of thing. This shameless Honda spin is kind of like that. We have to navigate back to a world where the facts actually matter. And I don't know how we do that, but I do know that spin is not a precursor to a new, more convenient set of facts. It's just not. Things do not get better when you spin the shit out of reality. When you do that, it just inspires the brain dead to believe that everything's okay. Ordinary people like you and me, especially in the 2 years of living alongside the COVID pandemic, which frankly hasn't been too bad here in Australia, but the political incompetence and self-serving spin has been frigging tolerable in my view. Anyway, ordinary people at this point would appreciate a little honesty in official dialogue. It could actually be quite the powerful weapon. I'm not even saying don't bullshit some of the time. Like, we all contribute our share, don't we? I'm just saying don't bullshit all the time about the stuff that really matters. If Honda had said 2021 was our most challenging year and our sales are still at near record lows, but we're confident we've laid the foundations for a profitable future and we're pretty sure we're going to see a turnaround over the next 18 months to 2 years. Well, I might not agree with them, but I would respect them for respecting the facts. As things stand with this momentum bullshit, not so much. Honda is now near the top of Deloitte's benchmark lead conversion rate for 2021, up 40%. See what I mean? Yeah, that's as may be, right? But nobody cares what the fucking conversion rate is when you're only selling 1/3 of the cars you were selling in 2018, well prior to the shit price promise. And frankly, the mission trajectory appears still to be locked on the Marianas friggin' Trench. So I think it's high time for Honda Australia to just man up and start respecting the facts in its outbound public communications.